No, you asked me, wasn't that? You asked me, am I the only dark skinned girl?
Right. Am I the only dark skinned girl that you've talked to?
Right. And it was a shocking question to me because
Why was that shocking?
Because I realized that even in like as pro-black as I am, you still felt the need to see if I was somehow fetishizing
because
you as a
you
person.
Could be pro-black. There's a lot of pro-black people. That has nothing to do with who you date.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from now, but it just took me back. Like when you asked me that and I realized what the implication was, I was like, oh, she thinks I don't know what, I'm not sure exactly what you thought. Like, were you thinking that I only liked you?
I wasn't thinking that you only liked me for anything. I was just trying to figure out, well, how many black girls, dark skin, whatever,
right,
have you taken seriously?
Well, and I haven't taken a lot. There was only a few girls.
You haven't taken a lot of people seriously.
Yeah.
Let's just
right
put that out there.
And to be fair, I guess the ratio will be like a third of the serious ones were black, and that one she was not dark skinned. So
right.
If you look at my serious relationships, it would seem like I had a type. Which
I still think you have a type, but that's a debate.
I definitely don't have a type.
But my reason for asking that was based on my experience. Like, I have had experience with dudes who like to have sex with black women, sure, but they will never seriously date or be seen in public with dark-skinned black women.
And that is what was shocking, that thought. I was like, because one, this, and I know people out there might be like, yeah, okay, guy, but I'm not having sex with somebody that I can't be seen with.
Okay, but this is why we haven't watched it yet, and I think this is why we need to watch the latest season of Married at First Sight, because there's a dude on there who married this chick, slept with her multiple times, and then said to her, you know what, I'm not attracted to you. After he slept with her.
I don't understand this. I don't understand that thought.
Maybe we need to take a poll. How many people in here slept with
probably everybody.
With women that they're not attracted to at all. Like, don't.
Kevo, what's up, Kev? Kevo said chill.
So this is a thing.
No, it is. I know a lot of dudes that will. So one of my uncles, I ain't gonna say no names. One of my uncles
gonna expose the fam.
One of my uncles used to have a saying, "It all looks the same when the lights go out." I disagree. I also like to have lights on because this is just me speaking. I'm not speaking for men because that is different. For me, like there is a thing with post nut clarity. I'm not with that. I'm not with the post nut. I need clarity the whole time. I need clarity before. I need pre-nut clarity. I need during nut. I want to see the whole thing. That's just how I get down. If I can't see myself, I can't do it. Like, that's how I function.
Right.
Like, if I nut and then I'm like, ugh, I gotta get away. That's not a good look. Like, I shouldn't have done that.
But you know what? Apparently, this happens a lot.
It does happen a lot.
And as a darker skinned black woman, like I said, I've had experiences that I don't know that these dudes didn't like me. I think I'm a pretty likable person. And based on their behavior, I have to assume that they like me to some degree.
Right.
But it's never I will actually date you kind of thing.
You know what I also hear? Well, that I think you've mentioned in that some darker skinned women have said that you've probably, they say you're pretty for a dark skinned girl.
Right.
And I thought initially that's kind of what I felt you were getting at. Like, you were like, are you saying that you don't really like dark skinned girls, but I'm an exception? Like, that's the vibe I got.
I've actually had to do that. I was in a relationship a long time. This is when I was younger. But in years later, like talking to him on like some, we cordial and stuff like that or whatever. He said to me something along the lines of like, essentially that I should feel special because I was like the only dark-skinned person that he was in a relationship with. Like the only person that he felt like was special enough to be in a relationship with. This is a dude that is just as dark as me, if not darker, right?
Which is a weird phenomenon.
So I'm like, how do you think that this is a compliment?
Right.
Where, who told you that? Who said that? Who said that?
Yeah, that is so. At first, I was like, when you asked me that question, and I was analyzing how I felt about it. First, I felt attacked. I was like, "You trying to say I don't like dark skinned girls? You trying to say that I'm colorist? Are you trying to accuse me, open-minded woke voodoo man, of being some kind of
that
bigot?"
Dude is pro-black. He's like a Pan-Africanist.
Yes. So then, but after that initial wave happened, I thought, wow, the amount of anti-blackness that's in the world has made you have to ask this question of somebody that you're trying to take serious. And that is upsetting to me. Like the fact that even amongst your own people that should have your back, like black men should have your back and your front, that like you have to ask them, like, do you really like me, or is this like, what is this? Like, is this some kind of fetish you have, or am I just like that? And that upset me in a different way. And I was like, yo, we got to do better than that as black people. And this is a conversation that I think we need to have. And we need to understand that, you know, I'm, you know, all right, so you guys see me, I'm light skinned, I got curly hair, I have the light skin privilege, I have long hair privilege. People think I'm Samoan. People think I'm whatever I tell them. I used to do that as a kid when I was growing up. I used to be like, they'd be like, oh, so first of all, they say, what are you? Like human? But they'd be like, what are you? And I'd be like, I'm Egyptian. I'm not. They believe it though. I say, I'm Hawaiian. They believe it. They believe anything I tell them, except for if I say, oh, I'm black. You can't be black.
Right.
They'd be like, you can't be black. There's no way you're black with that hair. You got to be mixed with something. That's what I used to always hear. So that, you know, it used to bother me, but it's also a privilege. I understand that in this society, there is a privilege of seeming mixed, of being lighter, of having long hair. Like I have had that privilege, and that perspective of being a darker skinned person is not one that I lived. And it hurt me to think that a person I cared about was having to ask me these questions because of because of her life experiences. And, you know, I was like, yo, this is unacceptable.
Right.
This is not an acceptable world.
Skyns.